So today I'm down here on the Enola low grade trail, which is a pretty cool rail trail. I don't know how much of it is open. I know they recently did one of the bridges because I was on it last month. But I'm down here on the Schwinn, my super budget gravel bike, which I guess I'm gonna stop calling that because I keep adding parts to it. So maybe I got to come up with a new name for this, but I don't know right now. But this is the Enola low grade trail. It'll go down to this really awesome railroad trestle, of which I will have a video of for this. So today is August 2nd. I've ridden like 230 miles in July, and I would like to match that or do better for August because my goal for this year is 1,000 miles on a bike. Uh, but it'll be between two different bikes because I ride this Schwinn a lot, but I also do occasionally break out my giant mountain bike. But yeah, my goal for the year is 1,000 miles, and we'll see what happens. So this section of the Enola low grade trail goes right along the Susquehanna River until we get down to the Safe Harbor Dam, which you can see right there. And we'll go over that railroad trestle, and then it takes a turn and starts to go like, I don't want to say inland, but it goes away from the river. But this is a nice 5-mile one-way trip down to the Safe Harbor Dam along the beautiful Susquehanna River. And the railroad trestle is worth the ride. You guys will see it probably in the next clip here. So right there's the Safe Harbor Dam. If you know anything about the Susquehanna, there's a few dams along the river. And then right here's this awesome railroad trestle bridge that the rail trail goes right across. So it's really cool. I'm hoping the next railroad trestle has been repaired, but I don't know. Somebody burned it down in like 2015 or something, 16. I think it was 17. Somebody like burned it down. So I'm hoping maybe they fixed that. That would be cool. But yeah, this is well worth the ride just down here to see the Safe Harbor Dam from up here. Or you can also drive up and park down there to see the Safe Harbor Dam, but you don't get to ride across the railroad trestle then. And here's a view of the awesome railroad trestle from the other side here. This is a much better view of it. You can see the stone pillars down there and all the metal support beams and everything, and you can see the train tracks that they use today instead of using the ones that would have been up here. And then, of course, over there is once again the Safe Harbor Dam. But this is a really cool ride. It's well worth the ride down here to see this because this is very cool. So if you live in the area, check out this section of the Enola low grade trail, which starts at Turkey Hill, really. That's where it starts. So anyway, up here, in a little bit, we're going to be making the turn to go away from the river, and then it'll be more boring, really. So at this point, I've said goodbye to the Susquehanna River, and now I'm just riding along this kind of boring gravel track. The next exciting thing is the next railroad trestle bridge. And like I said, I have no idea if that one's open, if they've repaired that one or not. I'm hoping they have, but I have no idea. We are going under a road up here. But while I got a chance, the most recent thing that I've changed on my Schwinn bike here, the budget gravel bike, super budget gravel bike. Not sure what I'm going to start calling it shortly, but it's running out of budget. But I put these handlebars that have a 60 millimeter rise so that I'm in a little bit more straight up position when I'm riding, like I'm sitting instead of being bent over. Bought some cheap lock-on grips that I had to cut down in order to fit my bar ends on. But that's what's new with the Schwinn. Coming up here under this road on the boring gravel track. So this is the second railroad trestle bridge, and it is open, so we're going to ride across it. A few years ago, somebody burned this down, and they replaced the top of it with concrete slabs, so they can't burn it down this time. So that's good. It does look like there's a way down under it if I was feeling adventurous, but I'm not going to do that because I don't care. But I really love these old railroad trestle bridges. But yeah, I'm going to get ready to ride across it. Ride across it, and then this goes into... There's a road crossing up there. I believe they're calling this the Martic Forge trestle because, well, that's where we are. We're in Martic Forge, which is really more of like a intersection than a town. But yeah. Okay, so I'm crossing this second railroad trestle, the Martic Forge trestle. It's this nice concrete slabs. You can see here, we are pretty high up. There's a road down there. I've driven on that road many times. But yeah, just a really cool view. And it's awesome to be able to ride across these railroad trestle bridges and have this. I believe the whole trail is connected now. So if I wanted to someday, I could ride this entire thing. Probably won't be today because I didn't start till like 11 o'clock. And I got work at 4 in the morning tomorrow. So probably won't be doing that today. But at some point, I may try to ride this whole thing. We'll see. Oh man, I wonder how many miles I've ridden so far today. So far, I've ridden 11 miles today. I know that because they have markers. I'll probably put that in this section of the video or whatever. Bikes behind me, obviously. They have a bunch of benches along this trail, which is nice. So you can sit down and take a break, get some water, maybe eat something. On longer days like this, where you're riding a lot, I do want this to be a pretty high mileage day. I don't know how many miles I'm doing so far. I've done 11 so far, which means that I'm at least going to do 22 today. But I would like to do more than that, so we'll see what happens. But it's important to bring some sort of food. I have, I think, 2 Laura bars with me today. The chocolate chip ones. I like the chocolate chip ones. They're like 220 calories a piece or something, which is pretty good. When you're doing stuff like this, you actually want higher calorie foods. Ideally, you'd want higher protein foods. The Laura bars are not super high protein, but it'll be fine. And I do have to get some sort of electrolyte mix stuff to put in my water because that would be good to have for stuff like this. But I'm taking a little break, gonna get some water, catch my breath and everything, and continue on. I do have to say, I think one of the better things that I've spent money on this bike, like as far as like good ideas and not just stuff that I wanted to have on the bike, either to look cool or to be more comfortable, are these new brake pads I bought for my cantilever brake system here. These are Cool Stop. I think they're the Eagle Claw 2s, I think. And these are in their salmon compound. They do a couple of different compounds and a couple of different brake pads, 4 different braking systems and stuff. But these work great. These have this bike stop almost as well as my disc brakes on my mountain bike. So I'm very happy with these brake pads, and they're like $10 for a pair of 2, meaning 2 brake pads. So you need to buy 2 pairs for your bike because you have front and rear brakes. And I've replaced both of mine, and these pads stop really well for rim brakes. But yeah, so I think that's probably one of the smarter purchases I've made for this bike. So this is Quarryville. That way goes into town. There's like a grocery store, a Burger King, a gas station, and some more stuff like further into town, but just up there is all that stuff. And then this way goes into Lancaster, which you may have heard of. But yeah, this is either 272 or 222. It's the opposite of whatever that other one was. There's a sign down there. This is 222, which means the other one was 272. But that way goes into Lancaster. This way goes into Quarryville, and eventually, if you continue going, eventually it'll go into Maryland. But yeah, this is a really nice bridge they did a few years ago. when I was a kid, this used to be stone, and then at some point they tore it down, and then I guess whenever they did the rail trail, they decided to build a new bridge. But it's a really nice bridge. But anyway, my phone's on like 18% battery or something like that, probably less than that now. So I'm going to stop filming for today. Maybe I'll do a little thing when I get back to the car, but I need my phone alive so that Strava continues to record how many miles and stuff I've done, because that's really the only way that I know for sure how far I've ridden. So yeah, this is probably going to be it unless I do a little video when I get back to my car. But I'm kind of hoping to do 40 miles today. We'll see. So I did indeed make it back to the car. Um, Ended up being 40.8 miles. So I did do the 40 miles. My legs are exhausted, and I think I need a little bit more comfortable bike seat than what's on the bike if I'm going to do stuff like that, like 40-mile days, because I was suffering by the end of that. But made it back to the car. Hopefully tomorrow I won't feel too bad because I have work. So, but interesting day. Fire department's here at the rail trail, so I guess this has been like a reported fire or something down there. They asked me if I saw any fire, and I didn't. I mean, I didn't see anything, but I don't know. But yeah, so ride on the Enola low grade trail.